Hi guys, my name is Wouter, and today we're going to talk about installing Python, basic syntax, a classic Hello World program, and executing your Python code. First up, installing Python. Now, if you're on a Mac like me, the Python version we're going to use is already installed. If you're on a Windows, on the other hand, you will have to install Python from their website. Open your browser and go to www.python.org, go to Downloads, and there it is. Now, for me it says I'm on a Mac, which is correct, but if you visit this site on a Windows machine, it'll let you download the Windows version. Once you've successfully installed Python on your machine, you're ready for the next step, which is downloading a code editor. Personally, I really like to program in PyCharm CE, and that's what I will be using in these videos. If for some reason you don't want to use that editor, that's fine. Basically, as long as you don't use MS Word, you're quite alright. Let us proceed to the installing of PyCharm CE. Go to www.jetbrains.com/PyCharm. Click on the download button. The site will automatically detect if you're working on a Mac or Windows, and proceed to install the editor. When you're all done, we can finally start programming. Let's start by opening PyCharm. When you open the editor, you get to this screen. We're just going to create a new project here. And this is where you specify the location of your project. In this case, I'm going to save it to the desktop as Python tutorial there. And you can choose your interpreter, but I would just leave it to 2.7.x. It doesn't really matter what their last character is there. So we create that, and this is your main editor. It may look a little different on your machine. I screwed around with the theme and font a little bit, but that should result into problems. Let us start with creating our very first Python program like this. You right mouse click on there, you say new Python file, and you're just going to name it. I'm going to name it Hello World, because that's what the program will do. It will say hello to the world. And kind is Python file. So you click OK, and a file creates within the folder you've specified with, on the first line, __author ___ and that's my name. You can just delete that line. You don't really need it. Now, the first syntax we're going to go over is the syntax of the print statement. A statement is a set or a single instruction you give to the computer to let it do something for you. In this case, the print statement lets you see information you pass to it on the output screen. This may seem a lot like gibberish to you now, but you'll find out soon enough what it all means. Let's just start with making our own program. Like all first programs, we're going to write a Hello World program, which is just plainly printing out the text Hello World to the screen. First, let us identify what kind of information Hello World actually is. In programming, this is what we call a string. I will write it down for you. Hello World. In programming, this is what we would call a string. Any combination of letters or characters inside quotation marks we call a string. There are other types of information, like integers, which are numbers, but we'll get into that later on. Let us first concentrate on using the print statement to output the string Hello World to the console. So the first step you're going to undertake is we're going to write the words down in the editor. Hello and world followed by an exclamation mark. And the editor is automatically going to say, well, this is gibberish. I mean, Python can't read this. When we try to run this, it'll just result in an error. So we have to edit this. And because these are words or a string of characters, the type of this information is a string. So because it is a string, we are going to surround it with quotation marks, which lets Python read that it is a string. And you see that the red line has been removed from the screen. So now we have a neatly formatted piece of information that Python can read. The only thing we have to do is pass it to the print statement, which takes your string and prints it out to the console. When you're all done coding it up, let me just code this up, passing this to a statement just requires typing the statement and then the information. So print followed by hello world, which is a string, so it is between quotation marks, this is a complete Python statement. So to run your code, you can just click this button. It says run, and you click run, and then it lets you choose the program you want to run, and because hello world is our only file, we'll click that. And now a small console pops up from the bottom of the editor. And you can see in the console it says hello world. So the program does what we wanted it to do. And that's, I guess, that's the magic of programming. You let a computer do what you want it to do. So I guess that wraps it up, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something. And check the next episode out where we're going to talk about integers, which are numbers, and math.